So with the last video, we kind of left up with frame by frame animation. We kind of went over a little bit about that and how we're going to start working on that. The frame by frame animations inside the car middle and car right movie clip symbols have already been done. So the middle and right have already been done. So in the library panel, we'll go over there. And we're going to double click on right car movie clip symbol to examine its completed frame by frame animation. So right car, or I guess it's car right movie clip, which this is the movie clip symbol, so we want to double click on that. So we can see the frames here. So 3 keyframes establish the 3 different positions for the car and its headlights. And it just moves up and down, really. The keyframes are spaced unevenly to provide an unpredictable up and down motion. I don't know how unpredictable it really is, but anyways, the motion goes up and down with it. So we can go to the library panel once again and double click on the left or car left movie symbol. So car left, double click on that. So this one doesn't have anything in it really right now. So we can actually begin working on this one. We're going to select frame 2 in both layers, the light layer and the small rumble layer. So frame 2 here, push shift so we can get both of those frame 2s selected here within both layers. I think that's frame 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it should be. Okay. And then we'll do insert keyframe, which I think we can do over here, right? They say you can also push F6 on your keyboard, but I don't have that on my laptop, so I'm just gonna click this. So we inserted a keyframe. So Animate automatically inserted a keyframe on frame 2 in the lights layer and the small rumble layer. So the previous contents of the previous keyframes are copied into these new keyframes. So we'll change the graphics a little bit, change the appearance to create the animation. So in frame 2, select all 3 graphics, the car and its 2 headlights and the stage, which I think they are all selected already because they're highlighted. Or we can do a select all up at the top, or let's see here. Edit, select all, just to make sure. I think they already all were, but and then move them down to the stage by 1 pixel. So we can use the properties panel. Let's see, properties panel, and we can change sorry here, the Y position by 1 pixel, or we can just do the down arrow key one time. So I just did it one time to bring it down by 1 pixel. So now the car and the headlights should move down slightly. So we'll repeat the process of inserting keyframes and changing the graphics for a random motion like an idling car. Using at least keyframes is ideal. So we'll select frame 4 now in both. So we'll push shift down. So we got both of these selected. In both layers, and then we'll select all 3 graphics again, edit, select all, and then move them up the stage by 2 pixels. I'm just going to use the arrow key again, the up arrow key, and we're just going to press that twice. And that should nudge it up 2 pixels. So that should move everything up slightly by 2 pixels in those new keyframes. Uh-oh, I didn't do this right. Sorry, guys. So shift, hold down, and then insert keyframe, and then select all, edit, select all, and then we'll move them up 1, 2. So there should be some movement here. It may not be perfect, but we've got the general gist of the thing. And we can actually scrub through pretty easily here. And it does move up and down a little bit if we're scrubbing through. So, and we can also do control test if we want. And we can kind of see they're all kind of moving a little bit. It's amazing what that little bit of, you know, just a couple pixels can really make a big difference in the movement of those cars. Okay, once we're done previewing that movie, we can actually just go back here and then we can be transported back to the main stage that we were working on. Let's do a file save really quick. And then in this next portion, we will be adding in the title that comes in, and we'll be kind of animating that in a 3D space. So 3D represents the added complication of a third axis. So typically we've been using with X and Y, but I think we'll be adding in another dimension, which will be Z, the letter Z. And so there's actually kind of a section in the book that goes over a couple different things about 3D animating and 3D motion, which I'm not going to cover in this video really. You can read that over. It's on page 247. But moving on, we're just going to go to insert a new layer at the top of the layer stack, basically, in the layers panel here. I think cars is at the top. So we'll do this button, the new layer button, click on that, and then we will name this. Double click on that, and then name it title. So that's going to be the layer with the title on it. And then we're going to lock all the other layers. So just click this, and then I'll just unlock the one title layer. So everything else should be locked in the layers panel at this stage. So in this title layer, we want to go to frame 120. And click on that. Make sure you have like a little highlighted box. And we're going to insert a keyframe here. So click here. So we'll add that. And then this is where we're going to drag that movie clip symbol called movie title from the library panel onto the stage. So we'll just, I don't know, bring it over here. Okay, and then so it appears in the new layer at the frame 120. Basically, that's when it will appear now. And then we're going to position the title in the empty sky, and we're actually going to go to the properties panel, and we're going to dial it in to, the X will be 180, return, and then the Y will be 90, return. And that's where we want it to be. With it selected, choose Create Motion Tween, which I think is this one. So now this layer will be a tween layer, and so we can now begin to animate this instance. Move the playhead to frame 140. So I'm just going to keep scrubbing till I see 140 right here. Select the 3D rotation tool. And I think it's hidden, so we kind of have to go in here. We'll have to add it to the toolbar before we can use it. I think it's this one. So we'll just add that in somewhere. Click on that to select it. I think we can click out of that. Maybe I'm trying to get this to go away. Well, there we go. I don't know how I got that to go away, but anyway, make sure you have your rotation tool selected, and then deselect the global transform button at the bottom of the tools panel to put the 3D rotation tool into local mode. So I think that's down here. I'm just gonna have to kind of, it's hard for me to get it because this screen recorder, but I think it's wait, dang it, it's right here. Sorry, I have to move this over because my screen recorder is right over the top of this. So if it's this button here. We're supposed to deselect the transform button at the bottom of the tools panel to put it into local mode. So I think it's selected there. I think that means it's deselected. as far as I can tell. So I think it's deselect. I think it's in local mode now. Drag the left arm of the green Y control to rotate the title around the Y axis. So I think that's left arm of the green left arm. So I think it's this. So it seems to recede into the distance. It's about 50 degrees, which I guess I'm just going to kind of maybe do this. You kind of have to bring it up and to the left a little bit to get it to get that angle on it that you want. I think it's somewhere around there. I think that's not bad. You can also check the rotation value in the transform panel. So window, transform, where is that? Oh, here. So the angle would be, I have it on 61, but I think they said 50, which is negative 61. They want it on negative 50, I guess. If you have it not exactly on, it's fine, but if you really want to get it right on, that's how you do that. And then move the playhead to 120. And drag upward on the right Y control to rotate the title around the Y axis to the opposite direction so the instance looks just like a sliver. So maybe like that, maybe. Which would be so it appears to swing in 3 dimensions if we scrub through. Whew, kind of cool. And we can just scrub through our animation to preview it now. So, you know, there's other ways of doing this too, but so that's our animation. So now we're going to create a MP4 movie file by exporting the project and converting it to in Adobe a media encoder, a freestanding application that is part of Adobe Creative Cloud. So we'll do File, Export, Video Media, and so this dialog box will open up. So keep the render size as original dimensions. Choose H.264, which it's already on for the format. And then click the output folder to select the destination file name and location. So this is going into the right spot, I think. Let me check and make sure. Lesson 3. Yeah, that's good. We want to make sure that this is checked. The Start Adobe Media Encoder Render Queue immediately. And then we want to push export. And this will pop up. And then Adobe Animate generally generates a temporary SWF file and MOV file from this. And then Adobe Media Encoder should automatically launch over here. And so now I'm going to click on the Media Encoder. So I guess we're going to have this installed. And then if it doesn't seem like it's doing what you want it to, click the Start Queue button, the green triangle, which is right here, or push return. And it should be converted to a movie file in an H.264 formatted video with the standard MP4 extension. And so if we go and look in where we save this, I put in my documents, graphic design, electronic design 1, lesson 3, and all of these files. So I think I want all 3 of these files, the FLA, MP4, and SWF file. All right, talk to you soon.